good?
I'm good.
When was your boxing fight? Your last the event that you did?
It was the day before my 55th birthday. It was October 10th. October 10th last year. So it was
What made you want to do a boxing fight?
there are a couple things. So
Like, I want to do a boxing fight. I want to do it.
no,
I want to get in the ring.
so
For my 55th birthday.
so I used to box in Chicago at a place called Jab, and I had 2 boxing matches there, and I lost. But I always thought that it was more in my head than anything. You know, I went out too aggressively.
You don't feel like you did your best.
Yeah, and so in the back of my mind, it was never satisfied, that little itch.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then I read this book. It's by Michael Easter. It's called The Comfort Crisis. I recommend that book to everybody. I actually
Especially
recommended it.
today's age, right? With everything being so easy.
Yeah, everything's easy.
What's the name of the book? The Comfort
The Comfort Crisis.
Crisis. Yeah, it's really a crisis, right?
Yeah, and so and Ricky and I were just talking about this, Professor Ricky. The guy who wrote the book took 2 paddleboard lessons, and then decided that he was going to paddle from the Channel Islands to Santa Barbara with just 2 lessons, and he did it. And the whole concept of the book is that we should be challenging ourselves at least once a year, but more frequently than
Once
that.
a year. That's good.
But with something that you have less than a 50% chance of succeeding. So it's a real challenge. So and so when COVID happened, they stopped the. This was I'm in real estate, and this was a real estate event. And when COVID happened, they stopped doing the event, and then they announced it. And about 6 months before, I had walked into El Gaucho's, who you used to train with when you were doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And Javier took me in. Yeah. Great guy. And so I started working out with him, and then I just asked him, I was like, Javier, I'm thinking about doing a fight. You think how do you think I'll do? He's like, fuck that. Do it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. And then I just went into work and I announced, and he's like, I'm gonna fight. And everybody's like, what? And so I trained up a long time for it, and by the time the fight came around, I felt prepared, and more than physically I was prepared. I was always training here. It was the mental aspect of it, and he put me through all the scenarios that he could. And there was one point where he said, I was sparring, and I put my head down, and I could hear him yelling. This is not in the fight. This is in training, because I couldn't hear anything during the fight. He said, Ray, if you don't get your head up, they're going to stop the fight. And so there was one point in the fight in the 3rd round where I ducked and I kept my head down, and I just remember him saying that, and I just put my head up and I swung out of it, and so.
Yeah, man, that's real talk right there. If you've been in a fight, if you've been in any kind of situations like that, right?
Yeah,
because that's where you need to take it. You need to be in these tough spots, right? And then keep going through it. Just keep going through it.
Right. No, and one of the guys that worked my corner, he had at the point he had 3 amateur fights. He's 27 years old, and then he turned pro with 3 amateur fights. So he lost his first match about 6 months ago, and his second match was was last week, but I couldn't go because I was in Vegas. And I'm sending him all these motivational quotes, and I was just like, fear's part of it. It's just how you deal with it. Everybody's afraid. And it's the old Mike Tyson's old coach, Customato.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, don't, fear can fuel you, or it can destroy you.
Yeah.
So he
That's a
went in
choice.
there. He went in there, and he knocked this kid out in 30 seconds. It was pretty impressive. Pretty young, nice. You wouldn't even be able to tell he was a fighter.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's next on the once a year, right? Challenging yourself.
So
That's really good, man. That's really. I saw some other. I think he's like a startup guy. I think he bought like he has a plane company, and I think 50 Cent. I don't know. He took care of 50 Cent, and he never forgot it. And so when he basically found out that it was his company, he made sure that all his staff, everybody, only flew on his airways. You know. Anyway, he was just talking about doing something really challenging like every year. Right, because then you feel alive. You feel like you're firing on all cylinders. You're awake, right? You're not sleeping. You're not in the, sedated, right?
And you're working towards something.
Yeah,
That's the big thing.
That's it.
Yeah,
and that can be a jiu-jitsu tournament, right? That can be whatever it is, right?
Yeah. So it's funny. I was talking to Ricky,
but really committing to it, not just like pretending, right?
Right.
Committing to it, committing to win, committing to doing your best.
Committing to it, and if it's hard enough, it's going to it could possibly be dangerous. So if you're not committed to it, you could get hurt. Yeah. So it's big. So I was talking to Ricky, and
the thing, right? It's not the result. Sorry to interrupt you. That's not the result, right? It's that training, right, that really helps you grow. So forget about the result. But if you've done everything you could do to prepare, to do everything that where you're set for that you could do, you've already won.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens.
Right. It's the process. It's the
process,
journey.
Yeah. So what are you gonna say about Ricky?
I think Monica's gonna kill. Monica's gonna kill us. So I told him about the book, and I said, "Hey, how'd you feel about paddling from Catalina to San Pedro?" And without Ricky, and without it, he's like, "Yeah, I think we could do that." I was like, "No," I'm serious. Like, how much training would I need? He goes, "Well, I've done. I think he said he did 8 miles in a couple hours," and he goes, "No, we could do this." And so we're like slowly, I'm talking about it, and the seed is being planted, and of course my wife is like, "You're an idiot," but
that's tough, right? You're in the ocean, you're in the open waters.
Yeah,
there's creatures out there.
There's creatures out there.
There's sharks, right? There's different things.
Yeah.
Conditions, right, that you don't know about. We did a jet ski a while back from I think Long Beach to, is it Catalina Island?
Yeah.
I think we took a jet ski just on the open waters, right? And I took the kids. We they weren't old enough to do it by themselves, so we brought a cousin too, and we went out there, and it was choppy, man. One girl like broke her nose because of the waves, and it was cool though. Once we got there, we were like, that was cool. But then we had to come back. That was when the broken noses happened, right? Because from the fatigue, right? You're tired. You're like chopping on the waves. You're like, you have to stay focused for like a long time.
Yeah.
And if you mess up, you get hurt. You can get hurt.
So when I was in Vegas last week, I was talking about the book again, and
Comfort Zone Crisis.
No, the Comfort Crisis.
Comfort Crisis.
Yeah. I'll send you a clip of it.
Comfort Crisis.
From Audibles. I read this book 4 times. That's how good it was. It's inspirational. So I was talking to this guy, and randomly he goes, I was talking to him about paddling. He goes, "Oh, I just did the swim." And I said, "What?" He goes, "I swam from Catalina to San Pedro." And I was like, "When did you do it? How'd you do it?" And started asking him questions. And he said he was on a 2-year wait list. And he had to have a boat and 2 kayaks to keep watch. He started at 11. It took him 11 hours. He started at 11 at night, finished at like 12 or 10 the next
through the night.
Yeah. And I was like, what was the scariest part? Was it the sharks? Was it? He goes, the darkness, the complete darkness. He goes, out of all the years that I've people have been doing this, no one has been bitten by a shark. So this Tuesday, we were watching the news and somebody was doing it, got bit by a shark. They had to pull him out. And so, and the thing about this, when you're swimming, you can't use a wetsuit.
Hold on. So he's paddling.
No. He's swimming.
Oh,
He's swimming.
so it's not paddling on the.
Yeah, this one was totally different. He's swimming. Got bit by a shark. They pulled him out. But when you're doing this, they're so intense about it that if you put your hand on the kayak just to catch a little break, they'll pull you out and disqualify you. You have to do it everything on your own. You can't wear a wetsuit because it adds buoyancy. Oh, that's crazy. That one would take build up.
I was trying to remember a movie where the guy swam. It wasn't around the world. It was like some ridiculous swim. And I think, was it a woman?
Yeah, it was Naiad.
Naiad.
Yeah.
What was it?
I think she was swimming from. Was she swimming from Cuba to Florida or something like that? Yeah.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And she failed a few times, right?
Yeah.
And I think, and she, you're crazy to do it again. And then she was like older at this point, right?
Yeah.
And then she finally did it.
Setting goals. Setting goals.
I randomly, when I went with the tag for guys, I went to Spain in the Via Ferrata. It's easier, right? You basically, the guys in the, I think they started in World War II where they were marching or going through the Alps.
Okay.
There's like little handles in the rocks, and you climb basically with the what do you call it? We clip on each.
Oh, the carabiners.
Carabiners, yeah. And so if you fall, you don't die, right? But it's it's crazy because you're really high. And right when I went up like whatever 100 or 200 feet, I was like, I looked down and my legs were shaking, just subconsciously. It's like, don't just keep going, you can only go up.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no going down, and so there's only one way up. And then the sun came out, and the guys didn't bring enough water, and I wasn't like in the best shape too, but luckily I had tack fit and the technique of tack fit, so I was able to get to the top. And then we had to walk down, which was like another hour and a half, 2 hours, So it was all day on the thing. I'm probably like, I don't know how many, 4 or 5, 6 hours, not being in the best shape, right?
Yeah.
And we made it through. And then afterwards, as soon as you drink water and then it's funny, right? Then you laugh.
Then
you're
laugh
like, you're
about
so
it.
happy about it,
Yeah.
But yeah, the challenge, right? The challenge. We all need challenge. And
Always.
yeah. It reminds me of my friend Amal. He's always doing crazy things like extreme, like sports and stuff. He would take me on mountains, and you'd have to make that jump, And if you miss, like you die, basically. Like in Brazil, basically we climbed the back of the Sugarloaf Mountain in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
Yeah. And so basically, it's gnarly, right? Like some spots, like if you miss the branch or whatever, you fall. That's it, But like once you're up there, like there's no going down. You got to keep going,
Yeah.
But like, yeah, those things keep you alive, right? Like alive, like spiritually and happy, and living your best life.
Yeah.
The hardness, right? The hardness of it. The challenge of it.
It's all in the head.
Yeah.
It's all in the head.
Yeah, I always mention the story about this lady. She would lecture all these colleges, and she would say, our brain needs 5 things, right? And I'd say our brain, it's like we need like 5 things, right? It's like nutrition, right? Air, like water, food, whatever. A movement, right? Newness. Okay. So newness, a challenge, and then connection, like love. So nutrition, movement, challenge, newness, and love, connection.
It makes sense.
And then we're good.
Yeah. Oh.
So like the challenge, right? The challenge is what connects us. The challenge is we're built for like to suffer in a way, And when life is too easy, people are getting depressed. People are getting anxiety, right? Because like it's not what we're built for. Right.
And that connection happens through that shared pain, that shared suffering.
Yeah.
You can't break that bond.
Yeah. like Navy SEAL guys, like they always pull their old guys from buds from when they came through the buds, right?
Yeah.
And to do like other challenging things like ultra marathons and whatever really hard things.
Yeah.
They always pull those guys with them because they suffer together. So they're like, okay, we can do this together. And that's what they say, right? When you're in the thing, it's like you surrender to yourself and you become one with everybody, and then you're able to endure just like till forever, right? Till the end.
Yeah.
You're able to endure a lot more.
So a few years ago, and it's just Mount Baldy. It's like 10,000 feet in the Inland Empire. They did what's it called? It's the Climb for Heroes. It's for veterans. And on the way there, you see disabled veterans. They're manning stations. But I called up a couple of my military buddies just on the whim. I said, "Hey, let's go do this. No training, nothing." And we're we're not 20 anymore, so we went and we did the hike, and it was a lot tougher than we thought. But there was never any point that we were even thinking about quitting. Mm-hmm. We got to the last like 1,200 feet, and we walked for it was like to that wall. We're like, we're gonna walk to that wall, take a breath. We walked to the wall, took a little break, all the way up until the top. But it was tough, and it was like the bond that the three of us created in the military is unbreakable.
Yeah,
unbreakable. So.
Yeah, together you guys finished it.
Yeah.
But that helped, right? So,
yeah.
And you surrender right to that. I think with jiu-jitsu, right, too, it's like being part of a team, being something bigger than yourself. Once you really tap into that, that's your superpower. That's the superpower, right? Then you become superhuman.
Absolutely.
Once you tap into something greater than yourself.
Yeah. The week before, I came in and Savage walked up to me. He and I had been talking. Mm-hmm. He goes, "I got something for you." And I go, "What?" He goes, "I'm going to go get it." He went and got his boxing gloves that he used to box in and gave it to me. And he
his
goes,
Reyes gloves? And some of those Reyes,
yeah.
Just tell me.
Yeah. And that's big because, he was like, we were talking, he's like, why are you boxing? Why are you still boxing? And I told him, I was like, it's because I'm learning the technical aspect of the sport. I'm learning, and you can bridge the gap between boxing and jiu-jitsu with the approach. It's like you're not attacking this way; you're attacking from angles, and it's the same. It's the same thing with boxing. You're cutting angles, you're slipping shots, and he appreciated that, and he said it. He goes, "I'm glad that's why you're doing it, and not just for a slugfest." And then for him to bring those gloves to me, it was a big deal. Big deal.
He's a different guy, special guy.
Yeah. Very special.
When you get him alone, he starts telling you some of his old stories, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
He's done stuff.
Big time.
Yeah, it does mean a lot. He brought some surfboards, right, because he can't surf anymore because of the sun and stuff. So, yeah, it meant a lot, too. Gives, like, these gifts, right? Like, from...
Yeah.
Spent some years, right?
It's thoughtful. Like, he's listening.
So, you're planning on what's the next big challenge?
Well, I'm training right now just for, it's a half marathon in Catalina.
Catalina, okay.
Yeah, and it's,
How many miles is that?
It's 13.1.
13.1.
The funny thing is, my friend, I went to college reunion, and my friend's wife said, "Hey, we're gonna do a run, half marathon in La Jolla." I was like, "Hey, they have one in Catalina." And I was just saying it, and she goes, "All right." And like 5 minutes later, she had gone on and signed up, and she goes, "Ray, are you gonna do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Now I am.
Yeah, right. I was like, I'll do it. And so that was in May, and then they'd been running, and I still train. I do. I'm doing jiu-jitsu. I'm doing boxing, and I do my personal trainer. So I'm in shape, but I'm not in running shape. And so about it was like 3 to 4 weeks ago, she sent a text that said, "Hey, we just got through running 15 miles. How many miles are you how many miles are you up to, Ray?" And I was like, "Damn." And so is it the ring? Oh,
It's okay.
turn it off. Sorry.
How many miles are you up to?
Yeah, and I hadn't really been running, but that day I went out and I ran 6 miles, and I've been like, and it was a struggle. It wasn't easy, but I was like, when I started, I said I'm not gonna stop, and so now I'm running and I'm on my schedule, and it the 6 miles are easy now. I mean, but this was like literally like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I was like, they're not outdoing me. I'm gonna go out there. And
Do you find yourself when you're focused like that on something, you're focused in everything in your life?
Yeah.
Whether real estate, work, family.
Yeah.
So that's the hack, right?
It's the hack, and yeah, and it drives my wife crazy because my fixation on things, it's just something that's built into me, but it being a part of me is why I am where I am today. It's like I didn't realize how I was, but once my mind, and it takes, what's that saying? Every man would think they were perfect if they weren't married, because your wife's pointing
Keeps it
at
real,
them.
yeah.
So
Put you in your place.
Yeah.
You try to.
she was like, "God, you're so hyper focused on this. What, like, chill out, relax a little." And I was like, I can't. So
Good for you. Good for you. I need to get, because I'm so focused on my kids right now. But I think I need to do. I guess I would do jiu-jitsu tournaments. That was my last. And actually after that, I did my TAC fit stuff, my TAC fit level 2, which was a really big challenge because of all the injuries I had.
yeah,
That was a really big challenge. It really brought out the best in me. And jiu-jitsu tournaments are good for that too. They give you a goal to work towards, and your weight, and making sure your technique is tight, and you control your emotions, and you have strategies and tactics, and it's fun. It's fun. I feel like I need to wait though a little bit, a couple of years. People ask me, "Are you going to compete again?" I'm like, "Yeah, I will." Just the right timing, What are you gonna ask me?
I want to make sure this is real. Like, whenever you decide to compete, I'll compete.
Okay. Deal.
And that's serious.
Deal. All right.
So you brought
What's
up.
crazy is like that motivates me, right? That motivates me.
What's happening next year?
Next week, Ray.
You know who's coming back out of retirement in November?
Joey, Professor Joey, Kettle Jitsu. He's back.
November.
Yeah.
He's competing.
I got a question for you. You brought up kids.
Kids.
What was
Can you hear? It's okay.
what was the biggest lesson you learned in raising your kids? I have one for mine, and it
The biggest lesson.
yeah, just in being a parent.
That's a big question, right? The biggest thing. I don't know if it's like one thing, just the humility, right? Like, it's not about me. It's not about me, It's like, it's about them, about me being the best person I can be for them. Just the humility of it.
Yeah. I think that goes in line with what, like, so
Like,
when,
it makes you a better person, right? Being
Big
being
time.
a committed parent, right?
big time. When my kids were born, I had this preconceived notion of what they were gonna do. Like, they were gonna do jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
They were gonna play all these sports. They were, they came out with their own personalities. They came out like with their own interests. So it dawned on me early that all I am is a set of guardrails to make sure that they don't go over the edge and they stay safe and they're good people. So that was my biggest lesson, and it was tough because like they used to come in here. They used to come in and do jujitsu.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And I used to watch my son, and he had no governor. He was, everything was just like balls to the wall.
Yeah.
And then one day they just said, hey, both of them together, they're like, we don't want to do this anymore. And I looked at my wife and I was like, I can't really force them to go. I was like, all right, hopefully they'll find their way back, you know. But that was the biggest lesson for me. And I was like, I let go. And you know, they've got my blood flowing through them, so they're doing okay. And my daughter has a learning disability. She has an auditory learning disability. She's in college now, and when she was applying to college, all of her college counselors said that you're shooting too high. You're not going to get in school because of your disability. But she's at her second year at USC right now, and she's in the marching band. She doesn't.
Marching band.
She does
auditory.
Yeah, she doesn't see obstacles. She just goes right through them, and it just as a father, you can't be any prouder than that.
Yeah, that's it, right? You try to force something, like about making it about us, right?
Yeah.
Backfires. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I think I've had that in my mind, or in the back of my mind at least, you know, with my kids, and I'm proud that they've all gotten their blue belts and they've all gotten all their belts. It's a lot of work, you know.
Big time.
And like my other daughter, who she's not the wrestler, the runner.
Yeah.
You know, she came in and wanted to do jiu-jitsu this summer on her own. She's driving now, so she drove and did jiu-jitsu on her own, and she's good, you know.
That's awesome.
So I was proud of that.
Wow. Should be.
We got her in for a podcast too, right? She's like, yeah, I'm well rounded. I can run away if there's danger, and I can fight too. She's funny.
That's good.
You know, she can take care of herself if she needs to.
That's important.
Yeah.
Super important.
Yeah. She knows what to do, you know, in a situation. If she's in a situation. Most likely, right? If you're in a real situation, you want to get out of there, right?
Right.
So she you know, but she joked, right? But it's cool, right? It's cool that she wanted to come in on her own. So let's see. Let's keep it going, right? And making it about like all these expectations, all these ideas you want, right? Or I want, but they have their own life to live and their own dreams and thoughts, right?
Yeah. No, it's funny you talk about the safety aspect. When the kids were little, I would tell my daughter, I was like, if anybody comes up to you on the street, tell them your father's a madman and he will kill them. And and it was joking around, right? And so she's now in high school and she's walking home, and I say, what are you gonna do if somebody pulls up next to you in a car? She goes, I'm gonna look at him and tell him that my father. I was like, no. You're gonna run to the first house and knock on a door and scream bloody murder. That's what you're gonna do, and you you have to drill that into them so they know, because and
you
she
never know how somebody's gonna respond,
right? And she had to put it was like, and when you're walking home, your phone's in your pocket, you know.
That's big, right?
Yeah,
being distracted, not being aware of your surroundings, even people walking across the street, right, on their phones, and all of us, right? I can't say like blaming somebody, but because everybody's on their phone. Like I'm distracted, you know, all the time with stuff, and I try to, you know, like at least with the kids, right? The kids like they grow up with phones and electronics and stuff, but at least I had a childhood where I didn't have that, right? So my brain developed, different things developed, you know. So I try to say that, like, you know, I was. Yes, maybe I use it for work. I do different things, right? That's my excuse, right? But at least I had a time before where I was able to develop in different ways, right?
Same.
Do Do you think we live in a simulation?
I heard that. I think it could be possible, but no, I don't think so.
I did a podcast with Armin, black belt.
Yeah.
He works for SpaceX, and he's like, most likely we're in a simulation, probability wise, right? And Elon Musk says that too. But who knows? Who knows?
How would you know?
But these challenges, like fighting, jiu-jitsu, if there is a matrix or there is we are in a simulation, in a way, I feel like it breaks out of those whatever things that are, keeping you in there.
Yeah.
Is a simulation real?
Is a simulation real?
Is it real?
What's real?
I think
whatever is real is what we think is real.
Yeah, right. If you have, you have free choice, right?
We think we have free choice, right? But do we? There was somebody calling the shots, They think we have free choice, free range, right? But do we?
So in a simulation, you can't have free choice, just because it's bordered.
You can't have what?
Free choice in a simulation.
No, I don't.
It's not a prison.
And like if it were simulation, it's not preordained. Like
How so?
it depends on who makes the rules.
I guess
right?
it's like a video game, right? Like you can say like simulation is like a video game, right? We're playing a video game, and we're just like the players. We're the player in the video game, and you can win, you can lose. But everything's already. I don't know how to explain.
Could give the people in the simulation free choice. That's free choice. It could be an open simulation. So what makes a simulation?
I would be pissed if we lived in a simulation. At the end of it, I'd want to fight whoever was like, you put me through all this.
You never know. That's the thing.
Does it matter?
Exactly.
Does it matter if you're in a simulation? There was a guy, a futuristic guy. He was like one of the heads of Google. What's his name? He wrote a book called when we merge with technology. Man, I'm going blank with my word today.
I'll look it up. Just keep going.
Google engineer, a futuristic Google engineer. I think he invented the printer. He'll look it up. Kevin will look it up. But I was watching maybe 10 years back. I was watching all these things, and he didn't believe that there's life on other planets, and we're gonna merge. What's it called? What does he call it? Whatever. The machines. We're gonna be the same, right? We're gonna be the same power, brain power, everything. And basically we don't matter after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it was making me kind of sad, when I was watching all that stuff. Like we don't really matter. It doesn't matter what we do, what choices we make. I don't know. It doesn't matter. How do we give value? Define Ray Kurzweil.
No, I don't know. I can't.
Ray Kurzweil. Put Ray Kurzweil in. That's what it was. And what's the name of his book? He calls it, or the name of his when we merge with technology.
We're getting close with the AI, right?
I mean, have you used AI things, and every month it seems like we're just what?
Yeah.
The singularity?
Singularity. He calls it the singularity. Yeah. So yeah, I was watching a lot of his stuff, and because I wanna be in the know. I want to, just it's interesting to me, right?
Yeah.
But then I was like, man, this doesn't make me feel good. you know, watching it.
Right.
And so I was like, you know, I'm not gonna watch this anymore. Just doesn't matter. Then I was like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just be a good person. Do the things that make you happy and excited, right? And doesn't matter if I'm in a simulation or not or whatever. Like, be a good person, help others, be of service, right? And then it's all good.
But what if you're a bad person? Does it matter? Like, and it's like a bad person.
I mean, it matters for you. And if you do bad things to other people that hurt other people, then it's gonna matter for them. But it's all how you choose to look at it, right? At the end of the day, unless you're dead, unless he kills you.
Yeah.
That's the point of free will right there. It's like you make your own matter. Like you see the world for what you want to see it as. If you want to say everything doesn't matter, that's what you think.
What's that double split theory, right? Like how we look at things, like the photons act differently, right?
Yeah.
And
Give
so
your life
like
value. That's it.
give your life value, yeah. And like, you know, just people ask me questions on whatever this and that. Like, man, it doesn't matter. I get to do this, you know. I get to, like, I'm talking to you right now, like, you know, like we're connecting, we're doing podcasts. We were downstairs, we were talking to Ricky, connecting with him. We just have this like kind of like an oasis in this like big sea of 10 million people in Los Angeles, right? Where everybody's on their phones and they're kind of disconnected, and we're connecting here. We're doing like real stuff. We're training jiu-jitsu. We're challenging ourselves. We're talking about even bigger challenges, right?
Yeah.
Or, you know, we have 50% of the chances of making it, right? Which is it's awesome. That's the unknown, right? And taking the jump anyway, right? Taking the jump anyway. The leap of faith.
The leap of faith.
And there's a power in that. There's a power in that. And if you fail daring greatly, right? It's all good, right? That what's the man in the arena quote?
Yeah, yeah. It's not the critic that counts.
It's not the critic that counts.
Yeah.
I gotta pull that up. I gotta read it out. Sorry, I gotta. Right? It's like, it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, you know. And then it's like, you'll never know, like, what's the whole thing? What's the whole quote? It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, right? Who at the best knows in the end of triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, right? So that his place shall never be with the cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat, right?
Is that Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah. The man in the arena, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about right there. Going for it, right?
Yeah. You got
And being ready to lose and then trying again.
That's the big thing. That's the big thing, right?
Right?
You're gonna suck at first at anything you try new, and just keep doing it until you get better. Until you get better.
So you're doing the race. What else? What other challenges are on your radar of doing? I'm learning some.
There's one thing that I want to do, and I've been in this. The reason that I haven't done it yet is because of the family. So when I was in the military, I was jump qualified. I was and I went through jump school, but I never got over the fear of jumping. It just like I jumped. This is what I wanted to do, and so I want to go get certified as for free fall. It takes 25 jumps, and it's more of a a mental challenge, and I'm laughing because the that fight or flight response, that cold plunge that you had me do, that is real, and I didn't realize how real it was until they videoed me on the first time. They and I saw the panic in my eyes as the water was. I was like, holy cow!
It was cold.
Yeah,
This hurts.
yeah, and it was.
And then what do? Do you run or do you like face it?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Fight or flight.
Yeah, but it's real. It's real.
In the flesh.
Yeah. So, but that's one thing. That's one thing that I want to do, and that it's like physically, it's not a hard thing to do. It's a mentally hard thing to do. Throwing yourself out of a perfectly good plane.
You know, I'm gonna do that. We did. We were speaking of my friend Amal. We went to Brazil, and he paraglides. Was it paraglides where you jump off the cliff and like kind of land on paragliding?
Parasail?
Right? No, paragliding. I think you jump off like Holes Gracie. He died.
Yeah,
paragliding, right?
Paragliding.
Jump off a mountain and then just sail in the air and
Yeah.
yeah. So
With a little triangle.
Yeah. So I think he would do it on his own. He's always he's like an extreme guy, and so we went down there, and he was like, "I'm gonna go paragliding. You want to come? Okay, let's go." And then it's funny. We were there with our kids. So his kids were there. Our kids were there. My kid, Adit and I's kids. Adit was there too, and we were going up there. And she's like, okay, she was ready to jump without like by herself, right? Of course, you had a guide that would do all the stuff, right? But she's like, okay, all right, like, let's go. She had flip flops on, and then he's like, oh, okay, there's a guide there to have her jump, and she was ready to do it, But
hang gliding.
Yeah, hang gliding in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah.
And then we were up there, and our kids were watching us. They're like at the bottom. There's like a what do you call it? A ramp, and then below the ramp, the kids can watch, right? And so we're there. I think Adit went first, and so it was all cloudy, and we were up there. I videoed it, and then basically the clouds start to clear out barely, and they start to run, and then as soon as they jumped off, the clouds opened up, right, and then you could see everything, clear. And you jump off. I jump too. You jump off, right? But you fall for like, I don't know. It feels like longer, right?
Feels like forever.
It's probably just like a second, right? You fall, and then the air catches you, and then you sail. Yeah, and the kids are, oh my god, it's crazy.
That's pretty cool.
And then you land on the beach, and yeah, like those challenging things are cool, right?
Yeah.
Even I don't have time or I don't want to invest the time to do the jumps to get trained to jump by myself, but I'd like to, like, you don't want to do it, but I think it'd be fun to just to go out there and have a guide, whatever, and just jump out of the plane. Be fun. I've never done that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Let's go do it.
Okay, let's go. I'm down. We'll talk after.
All right.
I'll set it up. What else?
That's what I've got on my mind right now, and the funny thing is that
No more boxing. What about the brain damage? Do you think about that?
Yeah,
Just the sparring and just all the especially being like in your fifth, like being in whatever at the middle ages, right? It's like I mean, it's great that you're in great shape, right? But also the brain. Hits.
I think about that. We have the headgear on,
right?
And you know the deal with the headgear is to protect the hand, not the head. It's so funny. So,
It rattles your rattles your brain.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah. There's risk with everything. I've got a window that I can perform within, and I see my window as closing because I'm getting older and older. And so it, like, with the level of performance that I used to, like, used to be
That's
athletic.
why this startup guy said that. He's like, because as you get older, you can do less. You're like, oh, I'm going to take that trip in 5 years. I'm going to take that trip in 10 years. But every year that goes by, you're going to be able to do less and less things. So he's like, do one every year.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So right now you're doing Catalina Island. Then we're gonna go sky jumping, and then you're gonna go sky jumping by yourself because I'm not gonna be doing that training. And then we'll be competing together
Yeah.
in
Definitely.
jiu-jitsu.
All right. I'll be there.
Gi and no gi?
I prefer the gi, but I'll train no gi. I'll do it.
Gi and no gi?
Okay.
All right, done. Because Edson has an extra no gi Master Worlds on me. I got that. I got the no gi, and then he got one. Then he got two, just to outdo me. So I have to catch up.
Okay.
That's one of the it's funny, right? That we make up stuff in our heads. But you motivated me. Yeah, I will. So it's just the timing.
Okay. So Uday's gonna hear this and he's gonna say, Ray, I expect to see you back at my house on Saturdays for no-gi.
Yeah, stay busy, man. Stay busy, right?
Always.
Stay moving, stay active.
It's the key to life. You can't sit still. Oh.
We can rest when we're dead, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I keep telling everyone I'm burning out. I'm not fading
What
away.
about if they create some nanotechnology where we live forever? Some AI like nanotechnology that they just plug us in and upload our consciousness into like a robot that looks that's whatever similar to our being. What do you think about that? Would you want to live forever?
No, I thought about that. My answer is based on the people that I love not being able to live forever, right? So if I were able to live forever and the people that I love and care about couldn't, I want nothing to do with it. You know how painful that would be to like you're
We might be facing that, right? Like in the Bible, right? It's like that's like the we might be facing those kinds of things, right? In the near future, in the next like 20 years,
yeah. No,
which is in our lifetime.
Yeah, no.
Things to reverse aging, like whatever. I don't know. Live things you can do to live forever. And do you want to live forever?
No, I don't want to live forever, but I want to fight to live. Does that make sense? Like, I will do everything I can to live in the here and now, everything. And I will. So if there was a war that came to our front door, I'm doing everything that I can to make sure that me and my family and my community survive. But if I were given the choice to live forever, right now,
it makes
today,
us less human, right?
Yeah.
It takes our humanity.
Yeah.
If we live forever. Right now we have limited time, right? So we can live forever. It's like we have forever. There's no sense of urgency. Why jump out of a plane?
Why?
Why do this? Why do that?
Yeah. That consciousness question is a good one, though, because it's like a chip out of your brain going into.
What about the Neuralink chip when they come out with it?
What is that?
I don't know, like the Elon Musk, right? He has because AI, everything's moving so fast, and we're basically, whatever. Who knows how everything's gonna go down? We're probably not gonna go down like we think, but basically for us to be able to, be up to speed with the speed of light and the way technology is moving. because our brains are going to be too slow or whatever, not up to the speed of those things. You can recall everything. You can do things much faster rate, which is scary again, right? Which takes our humanity.
Takes your humanity, and it takes your.
But that's in a way like the evolution. Well, maybe that's the evolution, right? That's coming.
Well, will we be needed?
And is that evolution, right? Are we? But that's just the way it's going. You know, who knows? Who knows what's going on? But I mean, AI and these things, like, it's just ridiculous, you know.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, they're starting to do it at work. They're starting to automate everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah. What's the Copilot? Microsoft Copilot? Like that's just like the basics, right?
Yeah.
But on all aspects, right? You just talk what you want, and boom, you have the graphic. Boom, you have the video. Boom, it's like AI generated like video content. You made a movie. We put your face on the guy and like on the, you know, whatever, Arnold Schwarzenegger's body, you know, like, you know.
Yeah. Like, you know, we read articles in the Wall Street Journals. Just summarize this article for me.
Yeah,
what are the three key points?
I put a book in. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Why do we need you, Ray?
Yeah, and then you stop thinking for yourself, right?
Yeah.
And that's why then you go back to the original thing, right? The comfort crisis.
The comfort crisis.
That's the comfort crisis. We're relying on AI, ChatGPT. We don't have to use our brains anymore. Life is getting too easy. Yeah, it's too easy already. Like, it's not getting. It's too easy already.
Yeah. In the book,
we don't have to fight for anything.
He points to the date, 2007. I think it was June or July 2007, the invention of the iPhone. As
2007.
As when everything changed. Life just got super easy. You didn't, like, everything that you wanted was at your fingertips. Mm-hmm. And the folks who were most impacted, kids. And that's why you're seeing a lot of anxiety in kids that you didn't.
The phone, the iPads, right? They're growing up with the iPads from, you know.
Yeah. And as
young ages.
And as a parent, I was guilty because it was so easy to distract them while you're trying to do something. He's like, here, play with this. And it's so intuitive, and you can't pull it away from them now. And if you do pull it away from them, you put them at a disadvantage.
That's it. Their brains are developing differently with the technology, right? Where we still had a time where we grew up without it, right? And then we added it to our thing. But who knows what's good and what's bad? But I don't know. Like, you can see the social impact, right?
Yeah.
Of the way they act, and that's it's not healthy. It's not good.
No.
So we need these challenges, right? We need these comfort killing situations, right? To stay sharp, to be happy, to be good, to be human,
right?
Be the best version.
Always strive to be the best version of yourself, right? And it's tough. It's tough because some mornings you don't want to do it. Some mornings, and that's where the discipline comes in, right? It's
I've been going to the gym with my son, and some days I had a long day the day before, and you know, I don't feel like getting up. And I told him, like, listen, I don't want to have to get you up and then have to wait for you to get ready or wake you up again. I'm gonna say it once. And I just had that conversation with him just one time. You know, we're not doing this again. Because, you know, like, man, I don't feel like going, and then I have to, like, no, we're not. Either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it, and now we're on point. You know, there's none of that. So, I guess step by step, right, with everything.
Yeah. So, the one thing that gets my son excited and gets him off of his phone is tide pooling. Like,
tide pooling?
Yeah. So he'll at low tide. He'll want to go down and he'll examine. He likes these little creatures called nudibranchs, and when you go, you can find octopus. You could do all that stuff, right? So he did his program in July at UCSD. He's a junior in high school. So I go down there. It's 3 weeks. I go down there for 2 weeks. My wife goes down there for a week. I can work from an office, a remote office down there.
Okay.
So he wakes me up at 2:30 in the morning on a work day. He goes, "Hey, Poppy, there's a tide pool. I think I'm going to drive to the beach by myself." And I was like, "No, I'll go with you." I'm not going to, you don't know who's down at the beach. So I go down to
2:30 in the morning.
Right. I go down to
crackheads in. Right.
No joke. I go down to the beach with him, and at 2:30 in the morning, you're smelling weed. I was like, what is like?
Yeah.
So anyway, it was one of the best experiences that we had together as a father and son. I've got videos of we found an octopus, and like we're feeding it, and it was taking the food, batting it away. It was pretty cool. Then I had to be at work at 7, and then I had to make he stayed, and I had to switch off with my wife, and then I had to make the drive from San Diego home, and I got home at 11. But, you know, the things you do for your kids,
it's
right?
Worth it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, it was the best investment of time, right?
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's it. Yeah. And you've always been a great person to be around. Ever since I met you the first day, you know, you came from Adam and Reservix and Chicago, and it's been an honor. It's been a privilege to have you on the mat, to be connected with you, to be friends, and I always appreciate spending time with you. So thank you for everything.
I feel the same way. Your door was always open, always, and thank you. And I represent that name on that belt. It means something. This community means something to me. So thank you.
Thank you, brother. Sky jumping and then competing together, gi and no gi.
All right. Let's see if we can get you on the board too, right?
On the board.